Okay, we are here. Now, I was trying to give you the reason why someone who used the double up strategy is already out, and the one who never used the double up strategy is not out. Okay, so when you check here at this point here, I shared this signal thinking that it will break the previous retracement at this point, but unfortunately this coin it decided to drop. Like I have showed you, it dropped from here where we entered from up to this level, whereby it was around 15%. Okay, it was around 15%, and by using the default settings of double up strategy, the default settings of double up strategy, if you can be able to buy like 3 times, when you have 4, it will be around 19%. Therefore, you can edit the default settings of the double up strategy as well to make sure that at least you have a good drop. Okay, so when we check here, this market dropped 15% after entering at this point. Now the change of character here that was warning us that anytime this market can change from an uptrend which has been into the downtrend. Therefore, that's why we are seeing here boss. We call it boss. In full, it is a break of structure, meaning here the market was trying to break the previous low, forming another new lower low. Even here, forming another new lower low. Even here, another new lower low. But after reaching at this point, automatically we are seeing this market now again up to this level, whereby at this level it was trying to test what we call the supply level. Are we together? The supply level. And when you look behind here where the equilibrium was, meaning this market again was trying to come back to test the equilibrium, and I told you whenever it tests the equilibrium, it will definitely go back and hit the supply level. Are we getting that point? Njagala mukakwate kano. After forming the supply level, this market will come back. It will test the equilibrium level, which is this one. Then it will go back to test the supply level. So, if I enter from here and I fail to get out, I know that after testing the equilibrium, this market will go back. Then I will get out. Banange, tuchali wamu nga musirisi.
Tuli wamu. Tuli wamu.
Now, I can decide to give you a coin which will drop for like 15%. And I can decide I give you a coin which will definitely sell without buying any margin call. So, by buying this, automatically, the percentage was around 60% for this coin to raise. But since I knew that we have a double up strategy, I know that most of you like the robot when it is buying the margin calls. Minus buying margin calls, you are not in love with the robot. Therefore, the one who used the double up strategy, they bought like around 3 margin calls up to here. And when this market was coming back, I think around here they sold out.
They were out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because whenever this market is buying, the robot when it is buying, it will always do what? It will always reduce the average price closer to the current price. After buying only one margin call, you will see the average price changing. So it will keep changing how you buy. So that's why we encourage you, make sure you have enough drop, such that when we are going to buy, we buy in the right time. Not buying after a 1% drop. There you will not be making sense. No. We must buy after a good percentage drop, such that we make use of our money. You get the point?
Yeah.
But if
It
you
can
are
reduce from
using
the
the double up
lot.
strategy and your drops are 0.5, 1%, 2%, so those who use the double up strategy, they are out. Those who never used it, they are not out. They are still in. They have been buying margin calls and selling margin calls, but they are not completely out. But for us, we are out. That is the difference. Now, another thing that we need to look at this point here, I cannot invest my 500 at this point here, where I shared this signal from. I cannot, because it was high. This was supposed to use the double up strategy because it is having the good percentage drop. Now, when I'm buying here, at this point where this market started from, here I can simply invest my 500. Why? Because it was the lowest point. When you consider here previous performance, here this was lowest point. Therefore here I can risk and I put my 500. Are you getting the reason, the difference? Here,
it was at the lowest point.
Market was too high. So I could enter here with my 500 or 300 or 200, targeting this previous performance. Here, just always look left and check where is the previous performance. Now this was your target. So you could enter from here, expecting this market to go back at this point, which was 22%. Now, just imagine you have invested your 500 here and you are waiting for 22%. It is good money. You get a point. But here, after putting my $500, trust me, I will not put margin calls. Even one, I will not put it. Because here I'm sure this market will move.
It's at the lowest.
Yes. But here, seriously, the ratio, I should reduce the ratio. You are just lacking that knowledge. That where am I supposed to put money and where am I supposed to reduce the money? Even though I share signals in the group, please take your time. Don't rush. Go back and check the signal I shared. Why this signal was shared. So, if it is too high, let me reduce on my reward ratio. I reduce my risk. If it is too low, okay, here I can invest good money because the market is low. You get a point? So,
yeah.
Now, when you look at this point here, okay, let me first put off this as if it is disturbing us. Okay, so when you look at this point here, I again shared this signal, knowing that it was testing this support, this one. And remember here, equilibrium was. Therefore, equilibrium is also working as our support. After break this support, now we could see this market forming the lowest point. Why am I saying it is the lowest point? By considering this movement from here up to here, ladies and gentlemen, when you check very well, you can see that this area, it was almost halfway of the distance moved. This area here. Are we clear? This area here, the distance from here up to here, and from here up to here, just what I want you to understand is one. Always first identify the trend. Now, this was the trend from here. Let me get my Let us look at this movement from here up to here. Itself, it was, since it was a trend, therefore I told you at every trend this market will always come back halfway of the distance. Therefore, let us also use this knowledge that, okay, I have entered here where we entered from at this point behind here. But put it in mind that this market can drop halfway of the distance. Therefore, I'm expecting this market to drop up to somewhere here. Because of this distance from here up to here. Now, this is my what? My point of drop. Oba mumfuna. Now this is the place where I expect this market to drop because of this distance from here up to this point. Fatima, are we together?
Yes.
You get a point. You have entered here risking with $10, but you measure the possible drop up to. Then you divide, make sure this drop, which is 13%, you have it in your strategy. We have, according to the signal you are going to enter. Just what you need, it is the knowledge on how to change that strategy and why. If you can be able to raise your knowledge, your reason why you are entering at this point with a certain strategy, if you can be able to explain, there you will be knowing what you are doing. Now we entered here risking our 10%, $10 here, targeting signal, but 20% I can put it here, 30% I can put it here. Because I know